staff and especially customers who have come out to attend this service hearing. We know that the quality of your electric service and the amount that you pay for the service is very important to you. Tampa Electric is here to listen to our customers. Listening and understanding the needs of our customers gives us the opportunity to provide better service. Some of you may have specific questions about your individual utility service, and if that's the case, please let us know. We do have customer service representatives here to assist you. You can do that here in the adjoining room. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lewis. So you have, Tampa Electric has about 3 minutes and 3 seconds left. So that's where we are with that. So at this time, we'll hear from Mr. Kelly from the Office of Public Counsel.
Good evening, and thank you so much for coming out tonight. As I said, I'm J.R. Kelly. I'm with the Office of Public Counsel. For those of you that are not familiar with our office, we are an office that's separate from the Public Service Commission. We're part of the legislature, and we were created specifically for one purpose, and that is to represent consumers in matters that come in front of the Public Service Commission, such as this. Why are we here today? We're here because TECO has requested rates to be increased by $134.8 million annually. That equates to an 18.6% increase in their base rates. Or if you want to look at it in terms of usage, for someone that uses 1,000 kilowatt hours per month, that's a $10.41 increase per month. Our office has intervened on your behalf, the consumer, to represent you in this matter. We've already contracted with several nationally recognized experts in the areas of accounting, cost of capital, and depreciation. They're currently reviewing the voluminous documents that TECO has filed in this matter, and they will be presenting expert testimony on your behalf. Now, folks, we don't dispute that TECO is a well-run company. It's made up of many fine men and women in this community, probably many of them that are some of your friends and neighbors. But our job is to review TECO's filing and ensure that we will contest those areas where the evidence does not support any increase. In effect, TECO is given a monopoly to operate in this area. In return, they're subject to regulation by the Public Service Commission. They're entitled to recoup their prudent and reasonable operating expenses, as well as the opportunity to earn a fair and reasonable rate of return on their investments. In return, they must provide safe, adequate, and reliable service to you, the consumer. At this point, we have not identified all of the issues that we will be contesting in this matter, but I will give you a few areas that we are currently looking at. First and foremost, we are and will be contesting what we consider the excess profit level that TECO is requesting. In their filing, they've asked for 11.25% return on equity. Folks, we believe that is extremely, extremely excessive. In light of today's economy, as well as the fact that the cost of capital has decreased significantly over the past 2 years. We recently submitted testimony in another case on this issue, and we'll be doing the same in this matter. Some other areas we're looking at. TECO has recently implemented a corporate reorganization after the last rate case of a few years ago, and we're reviewing how this has impacted their labor costs and their compensation levels that they're requesting. The level of storm damage reserve accrual, and that is monies that you pay in per your rates that will cover any storms that may hit the area. Now, historical storm damage costs have been minimal, and TECO is approaching its current storm damage reserve limit. But in this matter, they want to raise that limit. They're currently collecting $8 million per year. They want to collect more. We're not sure that that is a reasonable level. We're looking at the prudence of their projections with respect to capital additions and plant maintenance. We're looking at their vegetation management and storm hardening projects for reasonableness and prudency. And last, we're looking at the number of customers and revenues and expenses that they're projecting to make sure that they're fair and reasonable. Now, You heard the chairman mention why we're here tonight. This is your hearing, folks. Your hearing, the consumer. Please take the opportunity to come up here and share your opinion about TECO. Good, bad, whatever. We want to hear it all. These commissioners want to hear it. You can testify today, or as the chairman said, you can do it in writing, but we ask if you're willing to please come up here and testify in person. If you don't speak up, these commissioners will not be able to develop the most informed judgment in rendering their final decision. You want to talk about the quality of service? You want to talk about the impact of the rate case? Whatever, please come up and share your opinion. I want to thank you again for coming out today and taking time out of your busy schedule. But most importantly, I want to assure to you that our office is doing everything we can and will continue to work hard to protect your interest in this matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, members of the audience, Tampa Electric customers. Good evening. Thank you for coming out. My name is Chef Wright, and I have the privilege of representing the Florida Retail Federation in this important case. I'll tell you, I'm one of the luckiest people I know. I was born in Florida. My wife and I live on a small farm just outside Tallahassee. And for the past 32 years, I've been blessed to work on important energy issues in our wonderful state. First for Governor Graham's Energy Office, then as a member of the Public Service Commission staff for about 7 years, and for the last 20 plus years as a private sector attorney where I represent customers, renewable energy producers, and cities. For the last 9 years, I have been honored to be the utility attorney for the Florida Retail Federation. The Federation is a statewide organization with more than 8,000 members from the largest groceries, big box stores, department stores, and so on, like Publix, Walmart, Target, Macy's, to literally thousands of mom and pop stores. In these rate cases, where utilities are asking for tens or hundreds of millions of dollars more of your money, we work side by side with your public counsel to advocate, to fight for the lowest possible rates for all customers. Now, this case is about Tampa Electric's request to recover in its rates nearly another $135 million a year from you, its customers. At the Retail Federation, we're business people, and we understand that every business, whether it's a grocery store, a department store, a big box store, a florist shop, a law office, or a utility company, needs sufficient money to run its business, to pay its bills, and to provide its service. We don't just say no when a utility comes in for a rate case. We take a hard look at what the utility is asking for and whether it really needs it. What does that mean? What does that mean? As a regulated monopoly, providing a necessity, electric service is a necessity for all practical purposes in today's world. With no meaningful competition, Tampa Electric's job is to provide safe, reliable service at the lowest possible cost, and it's your Public Service Commission's job to ensure that they get enough money to do their job, to provide safe and reliable service, but only enough money. We want healthy utilities, but we don't believe that customers, you or our members, should pay for any excessive costs or excessive profits. We agree with the Public Counsel that Tampa Electric is a well-run company. Where we differ with utilities generally and with Tampa Electric Company in this case is on how much money they really need to do their job. For example, in this case, Tampa Electric is asking for an after-tax rate of profit, rate of return on investors' equity, of 11.25%. That's a before-tax rate of return, folks, of about 18.2%. We believe that's excessive. We say, not so fast, my friend. We believe that in light of the minimal risks that Tampa Electric faces as a monopoly provider of a necessity, that a return more like 9.25%, 9.5% tops is more reasonable and, frankly, probably even generous in light of the overall business proposition here. Making this one adjustment, cutting the return on equity, the profit rate, from a before tax level of 18.2% to a before tax level of 14 odd percent, which corresponds to an after-tax return of 9.25, would basically cut their $135 million ask in half. This would save you money. Now, this case is still in its early stages, and we're all still looking at what the various issues are, but there are other issues. We believe, for example, that Tampa Electric wants to use too much expensive equity capital to run its business or to finance its capital than less expensive debt capital. Shifting that slightly, from 54% equity to 50% equity would save you money. We believe that Tampa Electric, which already has a store reserve of $50 million, doesn't need to keep on collecting $8 million a year of your money, our members' money, to protect against future storm costs. Reducing this amount would save you money. There will be other issues in this case as it progresses towards hearings. And in the hearings, Tampa Electric will try to convince the commissioner that they need all the money they asked for, and we'll try to convince the commissioners that they only need as much as they need to provide safe and reliable service. We believe that number is a lot less than $135 million a year. Even with no increases at all, and even assuming that Tampa Electric would be able to justify all of its costs, and by the way, that's never happened in the history of rate cases before the Public Service Commission, with no increase at all, and assuming all their costs are as represented, Tampa Electric would still cover all of its costs and make $210 million a year in profits on sales of about $1.9 billion. Thank you all for coming out. As Mr. Kelly said, this is your hearing. We're here for you to tell the commissioners what you think.